What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today, our NFL draft coverage continues with a preseason ranking of the ACC top 10 prospects in the 2024 draft. Guys, if you love Clemson and Florida State, man, we've got a good one for you because they are loaded, and we're going to break it all down. To help me do that, our co-host, he is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. Go check out Philly Sports Alliance wherever you get your podcasts. What's going on, Ryan?
Not much, man. I was looking forward to the ACC. As anybody who knows me, I love linebackers, and we're going to be talking about quite a nice couple of linebackers here in a moment here. So I'm excited to run through the ACC right now.
Guys, if you're new to this show, we've already covered the SEC. We've already covered the Big Ten. Today, we're talking about, like I said, a lot of Clemson. Let's just jump right in. Leading off, number one, this is controversial. This could be debatable, but I'm going to go Drake May, quarterback out of UNC. Here is his quick scouting report. You look at Caleb Williams excelling outside of the pocket in 2022. Drake May is just as good. You look at this guy. He's sneaky athletic. He had 899 rushing yards last year. That was third among all FBS signal callers. He's also great at getting the ball deep downfield. He had a PFF grade of 97.5 on deep passes. He had 45 big-time throws. Each led all quarterbacks in the country. 6'4", 220 pounds. So he has that prototypical mold and athleticism you're looking for a true star quarterback at the next level. Really quick, easy release. Expectations are sky high for Drake May this season, man. This guy is coming off of 4 straight losses in 4 straight games to end 2022, including an ACC championship game loss to Clemson. He needs to learn how to adjust to the blitz. In those final 6 games last year, teams blitzed him 36% of the time compared to 30% in the first 8 games. And UNC went from averaging over 41 points a game in the first 8 games to just 24 points per game in the last 6. The offensive line gave up 40 sacks, which was 102nd in the nation. And UNC has not won an ACC football title since 1980. Man, expectations are wild for Drake May. What are your thoughts on Drake May?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly had himself a nice breakout season last year. 4,300 yards, 38 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. Almost ran for 700 yards and another 7. So, he's obviously putting up stats. He's got great size, 6'5", about 215, 220. And when you look at him, you look at his throws, it seems effortless. And he's just smooth, and he can just make those passes and make them look easy. You're right. He does certainly need to, improve kind of the reading of the defenses and blitzes and kind of make those quicker decisions. But, again, I think another year under his belt at UNC, I think that's something that he can easily improve upon. Coming up in this upcoming season for UNC. And you're right, expectations are through the roof. And, you had said it might be a little controversial, but, I've been hearing a lot of, Williams May talk at, this point, towards the draft in April. That line could be pretty blurry and it could go either way, depending on how the season goes. So I wouldn't be surprised if that gap is a little bit closer towards the draft. So, this is an easy, right now he's an easy number 2 quarterback in the nation. And I think he definitely continues to be in the top 3 of the quarterbacks heading into the draft for sure. And who knows, may supplant, Caleb. So keep your eye on May, and this is going to be something to watch as they kind of battle it out for the nation's top quarterback.
Yep. Important to note, no Josh Downs. He was drafted this year in the 3rd round by the Colts. So he loses his biggest weapon, primarily a slot weapon, which Josh Downs, I was really high on Downs. But let's roll on to our number 2 prospect in the ACC, and that is Jared Verse, edge rusher out of Florida State. Jared Verse, man, what an absolute beast. He just he's a guy that went from like under the radar as a transfer from Albany to a projected 1st-round pick. His climb has been out freaking rageous. I think had he declared this past year, he probably would have gone in the 1st round. I was a little bit shocked when he returned to school, but I'm going to get to why. This is a guy who logged 9 sacks and 17 tackles for loss in 2022. This guy has it all: burst, length, power, bend, quick and active hands. He returns to a completely loaded defensive line at Florida State, and I can't undersell that. They are really strong on the defensive side. That includes ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year Patrick Payton, Fabian Lovett. He returns as well. Really good defensive tackle. They also have really good transfers in Braden Fisk and another 4-star transfer edge defender in Gilbert Edmond. And I think, Jared Verse needs to kind of continue to just season his pass rush move set. And I think if he does that, he's got potential top 10 pick potential. And you look at, Clemson's defense, and we're going to be talking about a lot of those guys in the next, 30 minutes. But, FSU's defense is right there, led by Jared Verse. What are your thoughts on Jared Verse?
Yeah, I remember last year when, we were kind of doing, stuff for the draft and mock drafts and this, that, and the other. Verse right there was easily a top, a 1st-round pick for us. And everything that we had talked about. And, he kind of, you're right, he kind of came out of nowhere, coming from Alabama, but he had Albany, I'm sorry, had a very productive first year at FSU. And I think if he kind of continues on that, has a similar season to what he did last year, I don't doubt he'll be the first edge rusher off the board this year. Has all the skill set. As you said, he has got quick hands, his speed, he has good bend, all the things that you really want in an edge rusher. And you just hope that he can kind of continue that rise that, coming from Albany to a no name to FSU and getting into the spotlight. So if he continues that, easy first edge rusher off the board, in my opinion. And I think FSU's defense is going to be something that kind of sneaks up on you and be pretty productive in the ACC this upcoming season.
Absolutely. I think Clemson's definitely a potential top 3, top 5 defense. But Florida State, man, I think they could surprise. Yeah, I think they could be a top 10, top 15 defense. Tyson's in the house saying, I do think Tez Walker can be a nice weapon. I believe he was a transfer, right? Tyson, correct me if I'm wrong. So I would love. I don't really know much about Tez Walker. Let me know what your thoughts on him. So I haven't looked into Tez. I can't really comment on Tez Walker. I would love to. I can't wait to see how that works out for Drake May because the talent is there. Let's roll on to your boy, Ryan. He is Jeremiah Trotter Jr., man. It just makes me feel so old now watching him all last year. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is absolutely sensational. He's the son of, obviously, Eagles All-Pro linebacker Jeremiah Trotter. Axeman Jr., this is a guy who thrives on passing plays. He was the only Power 5 linebacker with 80-plus grades as a pass rusher and in coverage. He had a passer rating allowed of 42.9 and open target rate allowed of 47.6%. You'll watch the tape, man. He's definitely smallish. He's definitely lightish, but he's an instinctive defender, a guy that can thrive, behind the line of scrimmage, get it done in coverage. He is a modern day linebacker, 6 foot, 230 pounds, but he's dense. He's got a nice frame. I think he can still continue to work on that. I just like his natural feel. He's got really good bend. He's got just that natural ability to combat and evade. And he's a really good tackler, great closing burst. If there was 1 year for the Eagles to go against their kind of philosophy and draft this guy in the first round, I would be really excited. What are your thoughts on Jeremiah Trotter Jr.?
To say that I would be really excited would be the understatement of the century. Again, I absolutely love linebackers. It's just kind of my thing. It's what I gravitate towards. And Trotter Jr. is, such a great prospect. He had, a really great breakout season last year. Like you said, he has, just a really good size to him. It's stocky, but he's quick. He is great at getting through blocks and hitting holes and making those tackles. Obviously, he has that natural instinct that I'm sure he learned from his father. And yeah, I mean, the story alone, him coming to the Eagles would be enough to keep me going for the next 10 years. So, yeah, I'm super excited about him. I really, as you said, Clemson has a potential top 3 defense. There's a couple other defenders that we're going to talk about on this Clemson team. But he is, again, the leader heading into this draft for this defense. Just absolutely great pass rusher and just the instincts. You can just absolutely tell he senses where the ball is going to be and has the speed to get there when he needs it. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to be watching a lot of Clemson this year for sure. And it's mostly because of Trot.
Yeah, you watched his tape last year, and he honors his dad with the axe drop. It's so great. I put a tweet out of it this morning on my Twitter account, and it just makes me smile. Like, just from a financial perspective, from a business perspective, can you imagine the amount of people that would buy a Trotter Jr. Eagles jersey? Like,
be an instant. That would be an instant buy. That would be an instant. Fanatics would get flooded. Second he gets drafted, for all of the reserve jersey purchases, they'd sell out in 5 minutes.
Like a Kelly Green Trotter Jr. jersey, like that. He would be one of the biggest jersey sales in the season.
You're killing me here now. Oh God, that'd be so great.
That'd be fun. All right, let's roll on to number 4. And, I started the show talking about my number 1 quarterback in the ACC. This is up for debate because at number 4, we're talking about Jordan Travis, quarterback for Florida State. The dude is extremely talented. He's a guy that just made a huge leap forward in his development. Especially in 2022, over 3,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, while also adding over 400 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. His PFF grade of 91.7 ranked 3rd among all quarterbacks in the country and led all Power 5 last season. So he's a big time playmaker with his arm. And what I really like is he really keeps the turnovers down. He just has a turnover-worthy play rate of 1.9%. Scouts are going to absolutely love that. He's a 6-year senior. He's right there with May in terms of Heisman candidate. He's going to put up huge numbers in 2023. Bit undersized, 6'1", 201 pounds. Doesn't have elite arm strength. But this is a elite game changing running threat, dual threat that can get the ball into buckets outside the numbers. You look at Jordan Travis and that duo of like Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman, who I think is going to be underrated, have a really good year. That has the potential to be one of the nation's best offensive trios. Jordan Travis is legit, man, and he's definitely the guy that could shock Clemson and Miami for sure. What are your thoughts on Jordan Travis?
Yeah, he wasn't, a big recruit coming out of high school. I think he was a 3-star. And yeah, he seems to have been around under the radar for quite some time now, and he's finally kind of getting his opportunity. He has an amazingly strong arm, and you can tell he's able to make all the NFL throws and make them pretty easily. He certainly has the ability to kind of thread the needle with his accuracy, and it's got some really good zip on it, and he demonstrates that game in and game out, and good touch. So I'm really kind of excited to see, because as you said, he may jump up there with the top quarterbacks, and I feel like a lot of people aren't very high on him right now, and I think that could be to his advantage. There's not a ton of pressure as far as the national scope goes, but yeah, he has great size. He's physical, has kind of the almost kind of the perfect stature for a quarterback, so to speak. So I think with his arm strength and his quickness, yeah, he can kind of come out of nowhere this year, and again take that Florida State, which should have a nice sneaky defense, and do some damage here to some of the major players in the ACC. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Let's roll on to number 5, and that is Barrett Carter, linebacker out of Clemson, man. We talked earlier in our SEC rankings where we were raving about Omar Speights from LSU. And, that combination of Harold Perkins and Omar Speights has so much potential. This might be better. The duo of Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Barrett Carter is, I think, the elite duo at linebacker in 2023. Man, he's 6'1", 225 pounds. There he is. He is just a lightning bolt out of his stance. Attacks downhill with some of the best of the best. He's a great pass rusher. Very good in coverage. Great closing burst. He was a 5-star recruit, has not disappointed, man. So I look at this guy as like a true modern NFL linebacker, mostly due to his versatility. He's a mismatch weapon for any defense. He's got the ability to drop into coverage. He can play the slot, but where he's at his best, unlike Jeremiah Trotter Jr., I think, is in the box with his quick trigger and explosiveness. This guy, he's my number 2 or 3 linebacker in my overall linebacker ranking. But Barrett Carter, man, I think he could be a top. It's crazy to say linebacker in the NFL draft anymore, because positional value is everything. But in terms of like best, most talented, he might, like, if you're ranking on purely most talented, he's right up there, like top 20 guy. That's how good he is. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. It's tough nowadays, with some of these positions that have been devalued in the NFL, running back, linebacker being 2 of them. It's hard to kind of picture where he may go, because again, different teams, different needs. But yeah, if you're just going like top, big board type, yeah, he's up there. He's definitely top 3 linebacker for me. And the fact of the matter is, he shares the space with Potter, and the middle of their defense is unreal. It's absolutely unreal. The Carter is an absolute game changer, just like Trotter. He had 10 and a half tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. I mean, he is all over there. He's, just lightning in a bottle, so to speak. Great at attacking downhill. And, has, as they, one of those buzzwords that I keep seeing next to his name is he has great twitch, and
Yeah.
he has really good range to kind of to cover. Yeah, he definitely does a lot of things really well. And I wouldn't necessarily, I'd say he's probably a more complete linebacker than Trotter. Um, but again, Trotter kind of has some of the higher highs. So yeah, again, great rush, great coverage, great speed, versatile. I mean, there's not a lot that you can't say bad about this guy when it comes to the next level. So yeah, it's going to be interesting because by the end of the year, who knows? Trotter, Carter, it could kind of be a race for that top linebacker, along with few of the other ones we've mentioned before. So, yeah, he's easily right now top three for me.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that he does a lot of things really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we last week we did the Big Ten, and I don't think we touched on a linebacker. I could be wrong. Did we touch
I
on a linebacker?
I think maybe in our honorable mentions, but yeah, not in our official top 10.
Yeah, I think of like Tommy Eichenberg at Ohio State. Shocking.
Right?
Another
Yeah,
Ohio State.
he's one of them. Yeah.
He's really good. But like Barrett Carter is sensational, man. He's
Mhm.
he's definitely got first round talent. I'll say that. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's roll on to number 6. Surprise, surprise. Yet another Clemson. Here we're talking about Andrew Makuba, a safety prospect. That's really intriguing, man, especially in the NFL. Versatility, man. That's the name of the game when it comes to Andrew Makuba. He does it all. You look at Brian Branch, who was one of my favorite dudes in the
Mhm.
draft this year. I think this guy has the potential to be that new Brian Branch. Makuba's a guy who can roam in space, process in zone, close in on passes, but he can play in the slot. He can mirror receivers and man on the outside. He can also provide a spark as an outside blitzing threat. There's a guy at Clemson who split his time between free safety, the nickel spot, in the box. Through 2 seasons, has put up over 100 tackles. Doesn't have a lot of interceptions to his name, but a good amount of pass breakups. The critique is the size. He's only at 6 foot and 185 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be the thing that we hear a lot about over the next like 9 months on this dude. But yeah, there's potential that he's a slot only defender in the NFL. I don't know. Personally, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people make a lot of money now. That's a sexy position in the NFL today. So overall, I think his high quality versatility is what's going to win over scouts come April 2024. What are your thoughts on Andrew Makuba?
Yeah, you said it there. He's gonna most likely be the Brian Branch. If he's gonna be coming out this upcoming year. So, um, and like you said, the main knock on him is going to be his size. You said 6 foot. I've seen him listed at 5'11".
Wow.
So there's already
Yeah.
some talk about that, but coverage wise though, the man can absolutely pretty much do it all. He is really strong in coverage. He is a great inbox defender. Whether it's single high, too high, but he's definitely. I think he thrives a little bit more when he's placed in the slot. He's got a lot of he's a high energy kind of guy who kind of flies around the field, and you just really see the athleticism in just his normal everyday kind of moves there. So you could tell this guy has the skill set. And yeah, again, as I mentioned, he's versatile. He can kind of play all over the place, and that's exactly what you need in a safety in the NFL. Because you're not just going to be, a free safety just playing in one spot. You're going to be all over the place. And, I think he definitely has that versatility to adjust and make a seamless transition to the NFL, in this upcoming season. But, I think one of your notes here is tends to be too aggressive. And yeah, that's 100%. You can definitely tell he is flying around, and it sometimes gets him a little bit into trouble. But again, it's he's very rarely a liability in coverage. And I think if he kind of hones in that aggressiveness, it could only be that much better for him for this upcoming season.
I just want to make a quick note that Brian Branch did measure in at 5'11" and 190 pounds. So, and he was still a first round pick, right? He was taken in the first round, pretty sure.
No, I thought he got pushed to the second.
Did he? Okay. Yeah. Top of the second, maybe. So yeah, Makuba's got, really good talent. Rufus chimes in saying Makuba's awesome. With Merrill Reese saying his name would be awesome, man. Could you imagine? Makuba and Sidney Brown for the next 10 years. Let's do it.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see if he falls into the second round. All right. But yeah, I think Makuba is my number one safety in this class. Yeah, but let's get into this because there's some other safeties I want to talk about as we move forward. Next up, we have James Williams, another safety out of Miami. This guy is like the Mark Henry Jr. special. Like I feel like Mark Henry's gonna love this guy when we start talking about him more in like 8 months or so. The dude is 6'5", 215 pounds. He's a junior. He's that size, speed freak mold at safety that you gotta love, like a Kyle Hamilton. That's what this guy is, man. This guy is a mold breaker. He is a guy who challenges convention with his size and length at the position. Big time playmaker, just an absolute banshee coming downhill. Physical player, makes plays on the ball. His athleticism is insane, man. I think he's athletic enough to kind of play every level of the defense. He's got experience at Miami playing single high, cover two, inside the box, over the slot, at inside linebacker. This is a dude who fits the modern game. And the more I read about and the more I watch James Williams, I think I'm too low on this guy because he's really intriguing, man. That size combination and athleticism combination and versatility, my goodness. I asked on the scouting report, is he a tweener? I don't think that's a bad thing, especially how that position is treated in today's NFL. What are your thoughts on James Williams?
Yeah, just given his size, if you didn't know what position he'd play, you'd say he was a linebacker, and he certainly can. And who knows, what NFL teams will want to do with him. But what jumps out is a simple fact of just how athletic he is, and just he can clearly play all over the place, whether it be safety, whether it be linebacker. He just is. I don't know how to describe it. He's just like a firecracker. He comes out of just nowhere. He's such a huge, just massive player, and he just has so much, size and length and speed and all that. Just, man, that is not somebody I want hunting me down for a tackle. That's for sure. This dude's going to hurt people. And yeah, again, I like the fact that he has that versatility. He clearly is a safety in his mindset, but he has the size and just ability and tackling ability to be a linebacker in the next level. So I'd be really curious to what the NFL teams are gonna want to do with him. But Miami definitely has themselves just honestly a freak at safety. I mean, dude is humongous.
Yeah, I like the comment of like I'm excited to see what scouts are going to do with him, because I think that's what's so tantalizing is like that athleticism, that twitch. That's what James Williams is all about. I'm excited to see how he performs in 2023. His upside's crazy. So let's roll on to number 8, and we're going to offense for the first time in a while. Arande, I spelled that wrong. Arande Gadsden, the second, says wide receiver. He's a wide receiver turned tight end. He's kind of like that, like pass catching tight end mold for this dude. I mean, he would fit right in with Sidney Brown coming out of Syracuse, right? Wait, no, was that Syracuse? No, that was Illinois. Oh my God. All right.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, but let's talk about Gadsden. He's, you look at the modern NFL revolution, the big slot wide receiver is kind of taking, the NFL by storm, like Justin Jefferson. And I think that is making like tight end roles become a little more valuable, especially with that versatility, man. This guy is 6'5", 216 pounds. Can outmatch any defensive back he faces. Smooth athleticism, good foot speed, amazing hands. He can, dominate in that middle area of the field. At Syracuse, he lined up in every formation you can imagine: inline, backfield, slot. He's been there. He's a streamlined athlete who can attack space. I think the only thing that he hasn't done in his career, and I don't know if this is a knock, because why do something you're not the best at when you're already so good at something, is kind of consistently and effectively win on the outside. He's obviously way better in the slot due to his size and elite route running, but the sky's the limit if he can actually show he can, take advantage of his size on the outside in 2023. What are your thoughts? Any thoughts on Arande?
This is a big athletic dude, and now if he's going to fully commit to being a tight end this upcoming season, I still see reports saying that he may be officially listed as a wide receiver, but again, he's going to be able to play all over the place, and he just has, as you said, you used the word smooth. And that's exactly what it looks like when you watch this guy. It's just his route running, his turn ability. Like, he can change direction, and just everything just looks smooth. It just looks like it's so natural to him. He's got an incredibly strong hands. He can go up, make catches at the high point. He's absolutely a nightmare for smaller DBs. I mean, a 6'5", 215 ish, 218. I think I've seen two places, but honestly, Syracuse certainly has themselves an offensive weapon that is going to be a lot of problems for even some of the better DBs in the ACC. That's for sure.
I'm looking at like Syracuse's schedule in October. You ready for this? Okay. This is nuts. All right. September 30th, they have a home game against Clemson.
Yeesh.
October 7th, they go to UNC. Yeesh. October 14th, they have an away game at Florida State. That is like murder's row, man. That is, I don't know who made up the schedule, but Gadsden's going to have to dominate in those 3 games if Syracuse, because they're like a kind of a middle of the pack. The ACC is obviously very top heavy if you haven't been paying attention. And Syracuse, I think, is going to have a tough time keeping up with those guys. But that 3 game stretch just sucks. That's brutal. That's brutal. But he's a really good prospect. Really good prospect.
He's definitely, he's definitely, again, Syracuse doesn't have a lot going on. So he'll stand out easily, during their games for sure. So and
Yep.
he'll be going up against great competition. So if he can dominate, that'll even just look so much better. Come draft time, the fact that he was able to dominate against such a strong defensive conference in the ACC.
Yep. All right, let's roll on to number 9. And that is, I think, one of your boys, Will Shipley, running back out of Clemson. Let me get his graphic up. This guy's fun, man. He is 5'11", 205 pounds, super elusive, big time recruit coming out of high school. Very good receiving threat out of the backfield. His ability to kind of control the field as a runner is what sets him apart. Snappy runner with really good short area instincts. If you watch the tape, man, this guy does hurdles. So clearly he has elite athleticism with burst and speed in the open field. Again, a big-time versatile weapon who excels as a pass catcher. Was also involved in kick returns. He accumulated an average of 124.9 all-purpose yards in 2022. This is my top-rated running back in the ACC. A little bit ahead of Florida State's Trey Benson. But Will Shipley is like, he made my top 5 in my running back overall rankings for 2024. He's a really good prospect. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's a little bit on the lighter side. He's 5'11", 205, but yeah, uh, his athleticism, his finesse, his versatility as far as running the ball. It just jumps off the page when you watch this guy run. He has an insane burst through the holes, and has the vision to know where they are, when they will be opening up. I just feel like this guy can almost, sometimes when he runs, you almost think that he can just predict the future, know where these holes are going to go. So it's his instinct and just natural ability to just hit those holes. It's a skill set that I don't think you can teach, and just has just these natural instincts. So yeah, I think maybe again, as I said, maybe a little bit light. Maybe if he gains a little bit. A weight, muscle, whatever that might do him well in the next level. But yeah, Will Shipley is easily the best running back in the ACC, in my opinion. And finally, we have an offensive weapon for Clemson here. But yeah, he stands out for sure. And just like I said, his burst through the holes is something almost unreal sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's Will Shipley. Running back class is absolutely stacked this year. Really fun prospects, and it's really deep. All right, number 10. Let's talk about Cameron Kinchens out of Miami. Yet another safety prospect. That's 3 safeties in our top 10. Cameron Kinchens, man, is a good one. There is his scouting report. He led all safeties in the country with a PFF grade of 90 and a 90.7 coverage grade in 2022. He had 6 interceptions last year. That tied for the most in the Power 5, so you love the playmaking. He also had 6 deflections and 59 total tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss. He's got a really good frame that kind of sets him apart, especially when he's inside the box. Great zone awareness at times. He's really good at ball tracking. He's really good at kind of making plays and closing in on different throws. I think this guy has one of the higher upsides in the 2024 NFL draft. I put James Williams above Cameron Kinchens, but he's right there. I think he's in that same tier. What are your thoughts on Cameron Kinchens?
Yeah, he's a good he can really read the routes of his opponents really well. You can see he sticks with his man. Good anticipator for sure, and can cover a lot of ground and make up for it when he's out of position. quite quickly. Has really good acceleration, and I think he's just really good at honestly just reading, the quarterback, reading the offense, and has the good natural instinct to kind of see where the play is developing. So, um, you can kind of just tell that he always seems to be in a great place at the right time. So, um, he certainly is. A decent tackler as well. He's pretty physical when he wants to be, and he's physical, especially when he's pushed up against the line of scrimmage, um, and able to blitz the quarterback, on some plays that I saw. So, yeah, again, strong tackler, strong, vision, and strong instincts will go a long way, for him. And I think, yeah, I'm kind of excited to see kind of where he falls. As we said, we have a couple of safeties here. Yeah, and I think he could kind of get in that mix there, along with his partner Williams. So, yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how it shakes out because there's some really good safeties in the ACC.
Yep. All right. That wraps it up. Number 1, Drake May out of UNC. 2, Jared Verse. 3, Trot Jr., Axman Jr. Number 4, Jordan Travis, quarterback. 5, Barrett Carter. 6, Andrew Makuba, safety. James Williams, safety at number 7. Aronde Gadsden, the second. Tight end out of Syracuse at number 8. Will Shipley, running back out of Clemson, number 9. And then Cameron Kinchins, a safety prospect out of Miami, to finish out our top 10. This is the part where we go into some honorable mentions. I'll lead us off. The guy I want to bring up that was just missed my top 10 is Jaheim Bell, a tight end out of Florida State. This is a guy that I think we could be looking at these rankings like 6, 8, 9 months from now and be like, what the heck? Because you put this guy is coming from South Carolina, great athlete, but really struggled to kind of make an impact there. Transferred this offseason to Florida State to play with Jordan Travis. And I think he's going to just have a monster year. The thing about Jaheim Bell is he's got really intriguing versatility. He had 54 carries for nearly 200 yards and a touchdown in 2022, along with 25 catches and over 200 yards and 2 scores. I think that versatility is going to be even further unleashed with a guy like Jordan Travis, a dual threat quarterback like Jordan Travis. Like, this is a guy, Jaheim Bell is a guy who can be used in motion. You can line him up at H-back. He's got great explosiveness and contact balance at 6'3", 232 pounds. That's the guy I'm really intrigued. I think he could put up some monster stats in that Florida State offense. Any honorable mentions on your end, man, that you want to bring up?
Yeah, actually, and I'm gonna use you as an assist to pronounce this gentleman's last name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I figured the second I said it, you'd know exactly who I was talking about. And when I dove into the Clemson defense, obviously, the names that we've already mentioned here, the linebackers, the safeties, but I was looking at the line there, and there is a gentleman by the name of Rook
Arrohoro.
Okay.
By the way, it took me like probably 2 full days to get that right.
Yeah. Believe me, I in preparation for this, I was like, man, is it this? Is it this? But this dude is absolutely a monster. A 6'4", 303 defensive tackle on the line for Clemson. Born in Nigeria, didn't even start playing football until his junior year of high school, and just has risen up like nothing. That you see. He's got an insane burst. His power, his strength is massive. He is a man-child, and surprisingly, really versatile and flexible on that line. at being 303 pounds. So he's certainly somebody that I'm gonna absolutely keep an eye on. And somebody that I really am intrigued to see the continuation and the rise of somebody who's only been playing football for a few years and just shows such a natural ability, is obviously just a massive human being and an athlete, and just so athletic. And he's just so powerful and quick and flexible, and it's like, this doesn't make sense for somebody who's been playing football for 2 or 3 years, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, keep an eye out on this guy. Let's all practice saying his last name, because I have a feeling his name will definitely get butchered by Roger Goodell in a first round coming towards you.
Also important to note that, Brian Brzee is no longer in Clemson. So his snaps are going to go up. Expectations are up, especially for Clemson this year. Like, huge expectations.
They lost a lot on that line. I think they lost three players to the draft officially from that line. So he's absolutely gonna again get his shot to shine, and with just the massive human being and just the athleticism, he's going to take it. Honestly, I'm really excited to see it personally.
Jeez, they lost Miles Murphy, Brian Brzee, and KJ Henry on that D line. Right? So
that stability is availability, and he's gonna have his shot. So
yeah, I forgot about Miles Murphy. My gosh, yeah,
right. I mean, yeah, exactly, right.
My favorite prospect. But anyway, yeah, Rook Orhoro is going to be one to watch.
Yeah. By April next year, I'll have it down.
Yep. All right, so that wraps it up. This is our third conference ranking. We did the SEC, we did the Big Ten, and now we wrap a bow on the ACC. Any final thoughts or plugs?
Defense. That's all you have to know about the ACC. This is going to be the defensive, conference in football, and it's exciting because you got so many great players, so many great prospects, from the D-backs to the linebackers to the line, and we sprinkled some offensive players in there a little bit, but outside of the defense, it's probably going to be quarterbacks to keep your eye on. So, I think this rivals slightly, not maybe as great as the SEC, but it certainly rivals the Big Ten as far as prospects go, and kind of how the first round is going to shake out for sure. So, yeah, I'm excited. And otherwise, the normal drill. Philly Sports Alliance. Follow us on all the socials. Follow this guy, and let's call it a day. And go Birds.
What are thoughts on Leonard Taylor? He's the guy from Miami, right, Tyson? I could be wrong. He's definitely a big time prospect. I believe he's a defensive player out of Miami, but he didn't make our list, unfortunately. I think I did cover him in my edge rusher rankings, so go check that out. Let me look that up quick. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, hold on one sec. Yeah, he is a defensive tackle. He was He was my 5th rated defensive tackle prospect. So go check that out. I did cover him with highlight reels and all that kind of stuff in my previous video. So I didn't make this one, but he's a guy that could have a huge rise. He's a huge, big time 5-star recruit, man. 6'3", 300 plus pounds. He's just raw, and he just needs to kind of, get more seasoning, more experience. But I wrote it down like he's one of the biggest breakout candidates of 2023. He's a great prospect. So good call on that, Tyson. Nice. That wraps it up. We will be back next week. I'm not sure which conference we're going to do, Pac-12 or what. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll make an announcement. But we're going through these, getting ready for the 2023 season. This draft is awesome and deep, and I think the Eagles have like 3 picks in the top 2 rounds. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we should do a mock draft soon, by the way. That would be really fun.
Ooh, I love a good mock draft.
Once we finish this, like we've covered basically 50 prospects. Like we're almost there.
Yeah.
So
we can do it easily.
Yeah, I think so. All right. He is Ryan Reese. Ryan, what do you got going on at Philly Sports Alliance?
Just the norm, shows all week. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. Not only do you get the Philly Sports Alliance, but you also get Edge of Philly Sports shows coming through the channel as well. So put on those automatic notifications. Easiest way to hop in live. You get the little pop up. Boom, you're in there. You're talking with us. It's awesome. And plus, such great content from Edge of Philly Sports. I can't recommend them enough. So follow them everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Same for the Philly Sports Alliance, and make sure you're following Dives there. Great content.
Dude, appreciate it. This is my 3rd video in like 4 days. So I am taking a break. I'm taking a break.
Well deserved.
Next week for Birds of the Roundtable, we're doing the all NFC East team. That will be really fun.
Well done.
Looking forward to that show for sure, just to kind of compare how far and away the Eagles are compared to everyone else. I know we're definitely going to be doing a Sixers Summer League roster preview with Sean Bernard. They should announce the roster next week. So that will be going down. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other Sixers breaking news that
we're just waiting for right now.
I can't do Bradley Beal, man. I just can't. It's not me. But again, thank you everyone for watching. Please like this video if you love the NFL draft. He is Ryan Reese. I am Dives. For Ryan, for myself, stay awesome, everyone.